Hello dear history buffs, it's Nick Hodges here, and man was that a bloody good episode. And what's so satisfying to me personally is to see that right off the cuff, they're already confirming the predictions I made for Season 4 in my previous Viking video. So, if they're not going to drag this out, then neither am I. Clearly the biggest moment in the entire episode is when Uber stumbles on Bjorn looking at a map that he found in Paris. A map of the Mediterranean, the sea with no tides. When Uber asks Bjorn what is it to him, he replies, "It's my destiny." Guys, I really think that if they're getting this out of the way this early, then we might just see in this season Bjorn leading a fleet of longships into the Mediterranean. That is, of course, after he finishes his gap year to find himself. What would make sense to me is that after he comes back from that, he might talk to the Arab Middle Eastern slaver we saw earlier. And the slaver might tell him about the Moors in Spain, about North Africa, and even tell him about the vast wealth of Rome. He would essentially be Bjorn's equivalent of the wanderer that led Ragnar to the gates of Paris in Season 3. Now, of course, this is only my interpretation, but seeing how in this episode we not only see an Arab slaver, but also the map of the Mediterranean, this leads me to the assumption that we will see Bjorn either head to Spain or North Africa and fight the Moors. There was also an interview I saw with the cast of Vikings a while back where they confirmed that the locations for this season would be England, Francia, and a secret location they were not allowed to talk about. So, knowing all of that, this probably means that Ragnar's death is not far behind. In fact, I'm almost positive that we will see Ragnar die in this season. They already teased it a little bit when Auslog speaks to the seer in the beginning of the episode. She asks him if a woman will succeed to the kingdom of Kattegat, and he replies, "You mean after the death of Ragnar?" Auslog believes he is referring to Ragnar's state now, since he is very ill and is still suffering from his wounds in Paris. But of course, as we all know, Ragnar will not die of his wounds, but in the pit of snakes King Ailo will throw him into in Northumbria. This is explored even further when we see in Ragnar's vision or dream that Ragnar is denied entry to the gates of Valhalla since he was baptized in Season 3. Time is clearly running out for everyone's favourite character, and it will be sad to see him go. Travis Fimmel has done an amazing job as Ragnar, and I can think of no one else who could have played him better. But to all of you out there who will say that they will stop watching this show when he dies, please don't. All I could say is that after everything we've seen so far in this show, you've seen nothing yet. Ragnar will be avenged in a series of spectacular events that will eclipse all of his accomplishments so far. For those of you who are new to my channel and would like to know more, check out my video, Vikings Historical Accuracy and Season 4 Predictions, where I go into much further detail. Another major thing we saw in this episode was Rollo marrying Princess Gisela and becoming a Frankish noble. His betrayal of Ragnar is complete when he massacres the rest of the remaining Vikings back at the camp. He has truly shed his old identity of Rollo, and as far as I'm concerned, from this point on, he has now become Rollo/Robert, the first Duke of Normandy. He has always wanted to outshine Ragnar, and now he has. Over the next coming episodes, Rollo will begin shedding his old self and adopt his Norman identity. And the final big thing to happen this season is, of course, the arrest of Floki for murdering Athelstan. Now, of course, this wasn't a big surprise to anyone, since this was all shown in the teaser trailers leading up to this season. But I admit, I'm not exactly sure what will happen. It can go either way. I have seen articles though on the internet saying that the Floki that we know might be loosely based on Hrafnar Floki Vilgardarsson. Okay, I'm not even try pronouncing his name. That he might be the first Norseman to sail to Iceland, which would be very cool. And if that's the case, that would mean that Floki does not die in this season. However, I'm not entirely convinced, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. In any case, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to try and review some other episodes of Vikings when it comes out, maybe even all of them. Let me know what you think of this episode, or maybe you have some ideas of what could possibly happen in Season 4. Maybe something that I have missed that I could discuss further in future episodes. Until then, thanks very much for watching, guys.